Hi, I'm Jennifer with Gentee Designs, and I'm going to talk about in this video how I was a alterationist at a uniform company for about 4 or 5 months. I'm going to show you my experience. The context around this, I had a freelance business, Gentee Designs, for a year and a half. I was offering private sewing lessons, alterations, and doing custom designs and projects for people. It was financially hard and rough because I was doing this business for the first time. This is my first business. I don't have business background. My family are not entrepreneurs, so this was very new to me. I was winging it and just hanging on, doing my best. But I was able to quit my job and pay my bills, not get kicked out of my apartment, and survive for a year and a half before I had to quit. So about halfway through that time in that business, business, it dips down and it dips up. So when it was in a down period of about 4 months, I went out and got a part-time job. I didn't want to get a part-time job in anything but sewing. I really wanted it to just still be sewing related so that I could learn new skills and put it towards adding to my skill base in my business. So I went out and found a job at a uniform company. The uniform company, they would take uniforms from law enforcement, bus drivers. That was the main bulk of who they served. And they would do alterations to their uniforms. So they would hem it, bring the sides in, hem the sleeve, put stripes down the pants, the different colored stripes that you see, the fancy epaulettes on the shoulders, sew on the badges on the chest. This is a possibility. You can make money from sewing. It's still a relevant skill, and it's always going to be a relevant skill as long as people wear clothing and buy clothing. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, I'm at work. This is my station. Here's my machine. It's on. It's early in the morning, so most people aren't here yet. Some of the machines. And then that's our work. Each one of these boxes is something that has to be done. Here I am working on a pair of pants. I was hemming it. I hemmed a lot of pants. but it was my favorite thing to do out of all the tasks we had. I was able to stand up and move around a lot. When you're sitting down at the machine and sewing on 100 badges, it's very repetitive and can be painful after a while. So, but I would say that was maybe once a week that we would have something that was super repetitive like that. Otherwise, it was just a lot of variety of different jobs, which I definitely preferred because it was just a lot easier on my body. How did I get this job? Well, I actually, maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, before this, I had tried to work in alteration shops. I made a list of as many alteration shops as I could find on Google Maps in the Houston area. And then I went and visited them all. Just went down the list and visited each one, talked to the owners and see if they needed any help. It was discouraging because nobody was interested. I think a big part of it was I didn't have any experience. Yeah, I had a lot of experience with home sewing, but people don't really take you seriously when you're just a home seamstress. Especially, so in American culture, just factory work like this and working on industrial machines is not very common. But obviously, if you're in Asia and just places where this is a major job, then a lot of people do have those skills. And so, they're probably a lot of them are just born into it. Maybe some of the other reason was just being for benefit culture. A lot of the places were Asian owned, and I know I'm not saying all Asians are like this, but they do tend to just hire people from their own culture. But yeah, the main thing, I remember I talked to one of the owners, and he just gave it to me straight, and he said, you don't have any experience in this. This is, yeah, it's sewing and you can sew, but the alterations are very in-depth and complex, and you don't have those skills, and we don't have the time to train you. So go over to Asia, learn those skills, and then come back and I might hire you. That was, yeah, he was giving it to me straight. I thought it was pretty funny, just his honesty. This company, the uniform company, was a really good into this industry, just because it is a lot simpler work. You're doing a lot of repetitive, the same kind of stuff, pretty simple jobs. They gave me a little skills test, and I was able to do it. So I got hired pretty easily. And so I'd say, if you're looking for work like this in America, either try David's Bridal, which is, wedding dress alterations, or just a uniform company. There's a lot of uniform companies that need seamstresses, and you don't have to be that super skilled to be able to do this kind of work. Overall, my biggest advice for getting a job like this would be to go in really confident, show your passion. So if you have the best things that you've sewn, take a few of them in to show as samples and get your foot in the door. This is not the most glamorous job, but I learned so much. I was able to learn how to use an industrial sewing machine, which are the fastest machines out there. Look how fast this is. Yeah, just look how fast this goes. It's really cool. In this job, I got to see all the different types of machines that are used. There's a machine for each specific function. So a machine, it'll just do one function. So it'll sew on a button, or this one right here, it just sews the button hole, and it just has one job. And that's really common for industrial machines. They're very specialized. Also in this place, they did custom embroidery. So here's our embroidery machines. I didn't learn how to use the embroidery machines. There was people specifically that did the embroidery. That was just their job. One of the reasons I would not do this job long term was the physical stress it puts on your body. This was me probably a couple weeks after I quit that job. I got a constant aching pain in my upper shoulder, like the back of the shoulder, just started aching. So I do these stretches that were recommended by a masseuse. I did a couple of sessions of massage therapy, anything to help it go away. I was scared it might be, what if this is permanent? Fortunately, it wasn't. It went away after about a month. And now, today I'm perfectly fine. The person that worked there the longest, she'd probably been there about almost 20 years, she just wore icy hot patch on her shoulder all day. There you have it. That's the VIP sneak peek into an alterationist job at a uniform company. I hope that encourages you if you are a seamstress that you've just learned at home. It's been a passion and a hobby of yours, but you haven't gone to school for it. I don't have formal education in sewing. It's just something that I did on the side. And sometimes you can feel like if you do decide to get into it as a career that you may not be qualified or you're going to be looked over. But anything that you're that passionate about, that you're doing it in your free time, you're going to get really good in it. And there's probably like half of the fashion students, they haven't honed their sewing skills like you have. So just go and be confident in the natural skills that you have and that you've cultivated, and be persistent, and you can go out and be successful. Bye.